What's up guys, HTG Brian here, and in this video we're going to cover 1932 minigames made easy. Now, with the minigames, there are a total of 60 different ones, and although most are pretty short, some can take 5+ minutes to complete, and when chasing 1932 total minigames, the shorter the better. Real quick, let's take a look at our trophy progress and make note of our 0%. We have a method that's going to shred that grind time way down. It should be noted that although we captured this on the PS5, it'll work on any and all consoles. All right, let's go ahead and set up a party. Go ahead and choose local play. And although we are specifically having to play as a single entity here, we do have to set up a party. So choose 3 CPUs, and it should take us to the next screen where we get to choose the game mode. Once we get there, we're actually going to toggle all the way over to the far right and choose Score Chaser. Now we're going to repeat that process and go all the way to the far right again and choose the Very Tall Race. As soon as we go ahead and select that, it should take us to one more screen that's going to require a left 1 and R1, or depending on the platform, that may change, just to activate and get into the game. And here's where it gets fun. You actually just need to fall over and end the round. So, boom, done deal. It's going to go ahead and say finish, and it's going to give us an option to replay. And there you have it. You've just completed your fastest mini game to date. Now, you might notice down in the corner we have a counter. That's because it takes 19.32 fails or mini games played in order to accumulate 1% of the total 1932 mini games played. So just for the sake of the math, we went ahead and did 20 attempts, falling flat on our face. Now, I want to point out too, there's actually an even easier way. I am physically knocking my character over. It's actually speeding up the process by about 2.5 to 3 seconds. If you do not touch the left analog stick and fall over, it'll take roughly 2.5 to 3 seconds for that to happen. Once you fall over, it actually ends it no matter what. So what you could technically do is load up Lego Party, then load yourself into a local hosted game and choose the Score Chaser. Go ahead and go all the way to Very Tall Race, activate it by hitting the L1, R1, and then turn your TV onto a different source, whether it's Netflix or cable or whatever the case may be, and literally hit X every 15 seconds or so. I mean, you don't have to be super precise, but just know that you will be retrying this over and over again. So probably one of the easiest long grinds in video game history. I know there's been a lot of cheeses for different situations over time. However, this one seems to be one of the easier ones. Now, if you are paying attention, or maybe you're just really crafty, you could even, use the left analog stick to fall over. One might even suggest rubber banding it so that it's at that forward-leaning angle, causing your character to fall over and fail sooner, and that would speed up the process. And then you'd have to hit the X button, or whatever button it is for you on your console, about every 11 to 12 seconds. So, shaving 3 seconds off each one of these is actually going to shave the long-term goals too. But, pro tip for you though, I would not recommend doing this all the way to get the trophy achievement. Reason being is, if you're chasing 100%, you're going to have to grind out a bunch of actual zone challenge games. The main ones with the board where you go around and you play against either CPU or friends. And while you're doing that, you're going to be playing mini games anyway. So you're going to be forced to play a handful of mini games. So I suggest, getting this trophy or achievement probably to like 80% or so. I mean, you could certainly go all the way, but when you're going to have to play a couple hundred mini games in order to get the 75,000 carat trophy achievement, you might as well not overlap them and do too many too fast, because you're going to have to play mini games regardless. But you can see here our counter's getting up pretty high, and we did some basic math and found out that roughly about every hour you can gain about 15% on this trophy. So although it's still going to take a handful of hours to get this done ultimately it's going to shave days of your life off of this grind. So a lot of people have been very surprised that I already have this trophy, and they're asking me, how did you do that? So I figured, you know what, it's probably time I make a video and share my secret with everybody else. So there you go. You've seen it here first. Hopefully, maybe. I don't know if anybody's else done a video on this or not, but go ahead and click that like button if you found this useful. And you can see here we're getting right into the home stretch here where we've got 19th fail coming up. And faceplant. All right, Gramps is probably got. You know, I was thinking too. Wreck-It Ralph, right? If this character was alive, like poor guy, 1900 faceplants. Oh, ouch. All right, so there is 20 done did. Let's go ahead and pop up the old trophy list here and see what we can see. And look at that, it goes from 0 to 1%. Booyakashow. So 1932 mini games made easy. I didn't say it was going to be fun, but it's certainly easy. Big time shout out to one of my guide writers, Halfway J, and my other buddy, BHU, who sort of turned me on to this idea and made this video possible. But hey, you guys, if you haven't already, click that like button, hit that subscribe button, and get involved with Happy Thumbs Gaming. But as for me, that's going to do it for now. As always, until next time. Swap.